What's up, everybody? Review Man here, and today I just want to ask y'all one question. Have y'all ever had a really bad day? Well, the events in this movie, the guy in the guy in the day of the story sure has. Arthur Fleck. This is the story of Joker. Arthur Fleck is a aspiring stand-up comic who's a street performer who's has like this mental illness that forces him to have an uncontrollable laugh. And every time he meets somebody and he starts laughing uncontrollably, he's got to give him a card and explain to him why he's uncontrollable laughing. And so during this movie, he's trying to be a street comic and he's trying to be a clown, and he's trying to be an aspiring comic. He lives at home with his mom. His mom has a secret of her own that her boy that Arthur was adopted, and her boyfriend beat her with the her boyfriend beat the son and tied him to a radiator and abused him. So he's got all these kind of mental illnesses going on and all this other stuff. And this movie is pretty much about his transformation into the Joker. Now he got fired from a job because he was performing at a children's hospital, and he had this gun that one of his other coworkers gave him, and he had the gun in his pocket like this. He was dancing around doing this number here, and then all of a sudden the gun just flew out on the ground. And then he got fired for having that gun that his coworker lied to him about. So he got fired. And all through this movie, I mean, I just want to say Joaquin Phoenix did a pretty darn good job playing the Joker and portraying him. I mean, this is different than Jack Nicholson's Joker, Heath Ledger's Joker, even Jared Leto's Joker, the little bit that he did in Suicide Squad. It's even different than Mark Hamill's Joker, and when he did the voice of Joker. So I guess Joker is pretty much like this character that you gotta interpret your own way. Like if, like say, I got picked to play the Joker. I'm not gonna do it the same way that Mark Hamill, Jack Nicholson. I might take inspiration from them, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do it the same way. So anyway, on with the story. He wants to be an aspiring comic, and he's got this little notebook. After his medications get cut from the government, and he starts like acting different, strangely. He goes around shooting people. He goes around doing all this other stuff, and it's just like messing with him. And each time that something goes wrong in his life, you can see it in his face and eyes, that he's starting to snap. Like when he got fired from the children's hospital, when nobody laughed at him for telling a joke when nobody laughed at him, and he just like did this uncontrollable laughing at a stand-up club, and then that uncontrollable laughing led him to be on one of his favorite shows. It's like this late night talk show hosted by this guy named Murray. And Murray is played by the great Robert De Niro. I mean, Robert De Niro, he did a pretty good job playing this guy. And actually, everything was good in this movie, how they did everything. And Joker, I mean, Arthur, he ain't Joker yet. After Arthur figured out that his mom, boyfriend abused her, he got pretty mad because she was lying to him, and he just smothered her with a pillow in her hospital bed after she got rushed to the hospital for having a seizure or stroke. Yeah, this guy, he did a bunch of mental illness, and being off your medication can force you to do some pretty crazy things. So yeah, this movie wasn't so much about Joker's transformation. It was about this guy, Arthur Fleck, dealing with mental illness and all this, dealing with just like being like humanized, not the clown prince of crime that Joker's came to be. It's actually pretty decent telling of the story. So anyway, he the talk show gives him a call, and after his little clip was played on the show, he gets a call to be on the talk show, and Arthur's like, yeah, sure, I'll do it. And while this is going on, he's getting ready. He's going around. He's painting his face, dyeing his hair, getting all that ready. And he gets this knock out the door. And the knock out the door is Randolph, the big guy that gave him the gun at the beginning of the movie. And he's just trying to make him. They're just trying to make amends. So what Arthur does is he kills Randolph by beating him up a few times and stabbing him with a knife. I mean, this knife just went right through the dude's head. And then you got this little short dude named Gary. And Gary's pretty much scared because he doesn't know whether he's going to get killed or not. And Gary was like, Arthur, can you get the door for me? I'm going to get out here. And Gary's scared because he thinks he's going to get killed. But Arthur was like, you know what, Gary, you were nice. You were the only one at that place that was nice to me. Go ahead, go ahead. And Gary just scurries on out of there. And the next thing we see is him getting ready for the show. And he knocks on the door. He talks to Murray, and Murray's like, I just want 3 things: no cussing, no inappropriate comments, and have fun, or something like that. And then he was like, okay, but Murray, can I just ask you one thing? Whenever you introduce me, can you introduce me as Joker? He's like, yeah, sure, Joker it is. Fine. He's like, I like you. Yeah, sure, Joker it is. So he gets ready for the show. But before that, I got one backtrack a little bit. He kills 3 close to the beginning of the movie. He kills 3 people after he got fired because they're making fun of Clint. They're making fun of him and beating him up and all this. So he just shoots the 3 of them. He pretty much scares his possible love interest by thinking that he's stalking her, and he causes a riot on a train that causes two cops to get killed. So yeah, this guy with mental illness and off his medication can do some pretty dangerous things. So anyway, let's fast forward to the part of the movie we're at. And so he goes on the talk show, and he's pretty much telling like all these inappropriate comments, inappropriate jokes, like killing people, and I was laughing when I was killing them, and so on and so forth. And so what he does is he's like, I got a joke. Murray was like, okay, what's your joke? Knock knock. And he's like, knock knock. Who's that? I killed these people. And he's like just telling like all these like very off the wall jokes and things like that. And so he's having a conversation, and but before this, he meets up with like a little bit before this, he meets up with Thomas Wayne, and he confronts Thomas Wayne because Arthur's mom told him that they were adopted, that Thomas Wayne was his father. So he goes to confront Thomas Wayne at his little movie house or whatever. Thomas Wayne was like, your mother was crazy, and I'm not your dad, and so that leads him to go to that leads Arthur to go to the hospital to get the files on it. Sorry, chicken sandwich. But anyway, that leads him to go get the files on his mom, and this leads Arthur like further. Okay, this was Arthur at the beginning of the movie. He was like right up here having a good old time. And slowly with each scene throughout the movie, this was just him all the way through. Even to the end of the movie, whenever, I'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, anyway, this movie deals with a bunch of mental illnesses and crazy stuff. So anyway, on with the movie. He pulls out a gun that he pulls out the gun that he got from Randolph. He shoots Murray, and then he shoots him again. And at the end of it, he just signs off on the show, and he's just in his own little world here. He gets arrested for shooting Murray, and then after that, he's saying to the cops. The cops say to him, "Look at all this craziness you've done." And like, isn't it beautiful? And then there's an ambulance that hits the cops. Then there's these two people there, part of the riots, and they get Joker out. Joker is laying on the hood, and then he gets up, and after the people that get Joker out of the cop car, one of them goes to shoot Thomas and Martha Wayne, sparing Bruce Wayne. I'm thinking that Joker told these people, it's not implemented in the movie, but it's not implied in the movie, but I'm thinking Joker told these people to go shoot Thomas and Martha, shoot at least Thomas Wayne anyway. But anyway, Bruce is just standing there, Bruce Wayne is just standing there after a talk that him and Arthur had earlier, and after a talk him and Arthur had earlier, Bruce is just standing there, dead parents right here, and Joker's just doing this number right here. He gets up, you see blood everywhere, and he just gets up and he just does this number right here, and you can see all this all the crowd of rioters down here just cheering along and all this. And so the next thing that we see is we got Joker laughing, and then he's talking to his little doctor, and he's talking to the doctor about what happened and all this other stuff. And then at the end, we see Joker. He's like, I got a joke. He's like, what's that? I want to hear. You wouldn't get it. And so next thing we see is old Joker walking down this white hallway, and each time he takes a step, you see red footprints, red shoe prints. I'm thinking that he killed his daughter, because that's got to be the only obvious answer, because that red has got to be her blood. And so yeah, this was Joker. It was a pretty good movie, like I said to begin with, but it does deal a lot with mental illness. I hope they bring out some like deleted scenes or something in the movie, because when it comes to DVD, because I think there's some that they could have left out. So yeah, anyway guys, I'm the Review Man, you are you. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good YouTube stuff. Hit that bell for notifications. And I will see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.